stoppage without, backlogs getting out of control. I just wonder if you could provide an update about the state of services and where the backlog is going at this point in the weekend.
So far, there have been tens of thousands of files not processed that otherwise would have been processed. Of course, the impact of the work stoppage will only be identifiable with precision once the duration has come to an end. Of course, the longer any work stoppage goes on, the more severe the impacts are going to be. We're going to continue to work to identify priority areas where people's lives may be in danger to ensure we can still maintain those essential functions. Of course, when we have a clearer picture of the catch-up we'll need to undertake as a result of factors around the work stoppage, the length and the nature that any further stoppage may take on, we may have to look at what policy decisions we should make to play catch-up. Of course, we've been doing that for the past year and a half after the pandemic. It's no secret that there were real challenges with the large number of cases that built up in our system. So we've been trying to embrace digital solutions. We've been trying to relax non-essential policy requirements, and we've been trying to inject more resources into the system. As a result of those different policies we've adopted, we saw a significant catch-up with a return to service standard across most of our immigration streams, and we were getting very close on visitors' visas, which was more or less the last remaining category. So once we have an understanding of the timelines that we're dealing with and a full understanding of the impact of the work stoppage on processing, we'll then be in a position to understand how long it will take to play catch-up. I remain hopeful that parties will continue to engage at the table so we can actually find a solution and get back to the level of productivity we were experiencing up until the recent work stoppage, and we'll go from there.
Do you have a sense, for example, of how many citizenship ceremonies had to be postponed or otherwise rescheduled, or things that had been, already set to go, but because of the stoppage had to be delayed?
So we had to cancel all of the scheduled citizenship ceremonies. I don't have the precise number front of mind, but we could follow up. There is a number of those that have been canceled to date. Of course, what's on my mind is not just the impact of files that were not processed or ceremonies not held over the past week, but those that could be impacted in addition, depending on the length of a continued work stoppage. It's having a very serious impact on our operations, as we expected and discussed publicly, but we're going to do whatever we can to get back to those standards of service we offered before the pandemic that I think people should be able to rely upon.
Have you seen any, seen any decrease in applications as people have said, oh, okay, well, because of the strike, I better not submit an application, or is it business as usual in terms of the flow coming in?
I haven't seen data on that. I expect there are some people who are probably watching it, but the realistic experience I've had over the past year and a half, despite the fact that there were processing challenges previously, is when a person has a major life event, they're going to a child's wedding, they're attending a funeral, there's a major conference that they'd like to go to, they're usually submitting applications based on a specific timeline during which they'd like to travel, or a job opportunity that's come up, or an academic year. So my expectation is that we're probably not going to see a significant drop-off in applications. Anecdotally, I have no doubt I'll hear of a few, but I've not seen data to